Happy day, ladies. Today is Wednesday, April 15th. And now, yesterday, I shared some pretty exciting news with you. Hopefully, you remember that I had gotten new markers with a handy dandy carrying case. Well, more exciting news today. I also got new Crayola markers in their own handy dandy box. So you'll notice I kind of use the same colors all the time. That's because my markers were running out. So after today, hopefully I'll jazz up our I can statement with some different colors. Whew, lots of excitement going on in the Forbes house. All right, so yesterday we worked on subtracting a fraction from a mixed number. Today, we're going to be focusing on subtracting a mixed number from a mixed number. So it is our lesson 33, and online it's called Breakdown to Subtract. And our I can statement is I can subtract a mixed number from a mixed number. Now, I didn't put an example up there. However, if I had an example where I do have enough of the fraction to subtract, well, then I just subtract. But in my first example here, 4 and 3/6 minus 2 and 5/6, when I look at the fractions, I don't have enough just to subtract. So the first strategy I'm going to give you is called counting up. So I'm actually going to start at the 2 and 5/6 that I want to take away and count up, I don't know how far yet, to get to that 4 and 3/6. Kind of like if I did something simple like 7 minus 6, I can just say 6, 7 and count up and my answer is 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label the point 2 and 5/6 on my number line. So that means I have to partition my number line into sixths. And that means in between each of the whole numbers, I have to partition it into sixths. In between 2 and 3, and hopefully you realize this now because we have been working with number lines almost every day. So in between my 2 and 3, sixths. In between my 3 and 4, sixths. And in between my 4 and 5, sixths. And then I'm going to plot the point 2 and 5/6. 2, and then count up 5/6. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. So there I am at 2 and 5/6. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to see how far I am from the next whole number. And the next whole number is 3. So when I go from 2 and 5/6 to 3, I moved up 1/6 so far. Now, since I'm at the 3, I'm just going to go from 3 to 4. So I moved up 1 from 3 to 4. And now I have to move up to 4 and 3/6. Here's the 4. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6. So from here to here was 1/6. From here to here was 1/2. And then from here to here was another 1, 2, 3 sixths. So now I want to fill in my question mark. And I moved up. Let's see how far. Okay. Well, 1/2 and 1/6 and 3/6. So that's 4/6. So 2 and 5/6 plus 1 and 4/6 gives me 4 and 3/6. What does that mean working backwards? That 4 and 3/6 minus 2 and 5/6 equals 1 and 4/6. So that's the first strategy you'll see online, is counting up. And you'll see a problem just like this one. So now we're going to look at another strategy. And then again, we're going to look at a third strategy, and you're going to pick the one that is best for you. So now here we are at our second strategy. So I just want to jump back a little bit, something we've done. Adding mixed numbers. If I have 10 and 1/5 plus 1 and 3/5, my units are the same, fifths and fifths. So I simply add the ones and I add the fractions. So I end up with an answer of 11 and 4/5. So now I'm going to take that concept and bring it to my subtraction of mixed numbers. So I have 10 and 1/5 minus 1 and 3/5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract those whole numbers. I'm going to subtract 10 minus 1, which gives me 9. However, I still have the 1/5, and I still have to take away another 3/5. So it's almost like I have a brand new problem. So I have 9 and 1/5 minus 3/5. So now we can think back to our last lesson when we took a fraction away from a mixed number. And there were two ways that we did. The one way was decomposing the fraction. The other way was decomposing the whole number. When you go to do your problem set, you're going to do whichever strategy works for you. So let's first do this example when we decompose that fraction like we did in our last lesson. So I'm going to rewrite this part. So I don't have enough fifths to take away 3 of them. So I'm going to start by taking away the 1 that is here. So I decompose that 3/5 into a 1/5 and a 2/5. Now I can take away the 1/5. I still have the 9, and I still have to take away 2/5. Now this is where I know I can decompose that 9 into 8 and 5/5. I can now take away that 2/5. So 8 and 5/5 minus 2/5 gives me 8 and 3/5. I'm also, so what we did, sorry girls, I lost my train of thought, still happens. So this was one way of approaching this problem. But now for when you do your problem set, I want to show you another way because again, this is very lengthy. So I'm going to show you a third strategy to find the answer to a mixed number minus a mixed number. The first strategy we used was counting up. You did that on the number line. The second strategy we used was first subtracting the whole numbers and then subtracting the fraction parts using decomposition of the fraction. I know that's a lot of words that you probably don't need. The third one is coming up now. So now for this last strategy, what I'm going to do is from the beginning, I'm going to start by decomposing my whole number. So I have 10 and 1/5 minus 1 and 3/5 again, except this time I'm going to start right from the beginning and I'm going to decompose that 10. It's almost like I'm borrowing. That 10 is going to become a 9 and 5/5. But I still have the 1/5, which gives me 9 and 6/5. Now I'm going to subtract the 1 and 3/5. I have enough fifths that I can subtract. So now I can just simply subtract my whole numbers and my fractions. 9 minus 1 is 8. 6/5 minus 3/5 is 3/5. And you get the same exact answer. Now, I'm going to show you another little shortcut. When I take this 10 and 1/5, I'm going to show you a shortcut to get to here a little bit faster. Now, if you don't understand the shortcut, if you have some difficulty with it, then stick with this. But what I can do is just cross out the 10, make it a 9. 5 plus 1 is 6/5. So I'm basically adding the denominator and the numerator because I'm adding the fifths I have and the one extra one I have. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Then I can subtract my 1 and 3/5. And I still get 8 and 3/5. So good luck on your problem set, and I will see you tomorrow.